Hey everybody, welcome to the Damsels in Debate podcast. I am your host Tina, and let me go ahead and introduce these two because I have both co-hosts with me today. This is the first time all three of us have been on one podcast, so
Yay!
For that. So I have Vanessa.
Hello!
And I have Monica with me.
What's cracking?
Yay, so we're all here together. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see. Well, since you have the strongest feelings about this movie, Monica, what movie are we going to be reviewing?
We're reviewing the new Godzilla that just came out, like last week, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? We've all been a bit busy, and it's the holiday weekend, so that's why we're a little late. We're going to try to do the X-Men one later this week, because we all saw that and all had feelings about that one also. But, so yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Before we say anything, we just want to say that there are going to be spoilers. A whole bunch of spoilers for the new Godzilla movie, and then I guess technically some for probably the old one. The one from 1998 or whatever. But yeah, spoilers for Godzilla starting now. So, Vanessa, well, actually, I'm going to ask you guys, what were you expecting going into this movie? Were you really psyched about this one? Was this one of your must-see movies of the year, or what were you thinking going in?
I was, from the trailers, because the trailers, a lot of them were really, some of them were vague, and so I was expecting it to be similar, like you were mentioning, the 1998 movie with Hank Azaria and Matthew Broderick. I was expecting it to be a movie about Godzilla attacking a city, like New York or something like that, like just Godzilla, and that's it. So that's what I went in expecting. Okay,
cool. And Monica, what about you? What were you expecting out of this movie?
Okay, first let me say that I've never seen any of the Godzillas. Not one. Now, I know there's with the one from 98, and then there's the original was in 1954, I think it was.
Yeah, and then I don't know how many. I know there was like a shitload of them, but I don't know.
Okay, well, it originated in 1954. Let me just say that, okay? 1954.
Yeah.
All right. What did I expect? I thought it was going to be a movie about Godzilla. Obviously, pretty much going, like Vanessa said, going in, attacking the city in some way. And in my mind, if anyone has seen the new Planet of the Apes movies, they're freaking awesome. Well, the one movie so far, but it's freaking awesome, and I thought it was going to be something like that.
Okay.
That's what I went in, going in. I'm like, yes, this is going to be some hardcore shit. I was ready, and I was super excited. This was a very high movie on my list to see for the summer.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I remember you saying this was one of your top tier movies to see this summer. Actually, you brought up a good point. Vanessa, have you seen any of the real old movies,
No.
besides the other one? Yeah, I saw a part of one of them where he fights Mothra, which is like this giant moth-like monster, but I don't really remember a lot of it. And then I saw the one in 98, and that one, I remember thinking it was okay, but, like, I knew it wasn't really a good movie, but it was like, whatever. And that's it. So, I'm the same way. I don't really have a whole lot of Godzilla knowledge. But I was pretty psyched about this movie, mainly because the teaser trailer was really, I thought they did a really good job. They didn't just show Godzilla right away and, give you all that stuff right in the beginning. They didn't tell the entire story in the teaser trailer, because I didn't see the regular trailer. And I just like the marketing for the movie and stuff. The poster was really cool. So, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like one of my top movies, but I was excited to see it for sure. I'm going to start with Vanessa again. Vanessa, what was your overall opinion of this movie?
Okay, when I first left the theater, came out of the theater, well, one, my initial thing is that I thought it was too long. That's the first thing. Usually that's what you say.
Yeah.
But I thought it was long because I actually got a little sleepy at some parts. But my first initial reaction leaving the theaters, I actually was saying, I didn't like that at all. I didn't like any of that.
Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah, but again, when you sit and you let it sink in, you think about it, well, it wasn't a bad movie. It's just because I didn't like it because I was expecting, like I said, just Godzilla. And I didn't understand what are all these other creatures. I didn't understand, the whole, nuclear thing or whatever. Like they fed on nuclear stuff. I'm like, what is this coming from? But I haven't read like about anything about Godzilla, so I didn't know like where. Like a lot of people who were into Godzilla would understand. Oh, that's so cool. They did this story, you know.
So initially you were like, thumbs down, but then as you sat on it for a little bit, you were like, oh, well, it was okay. Yeah. But okay.
It's okay for me.
Okay. Now, I was kind of in the same boat. It wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, but like I figured there was a really good chance there were going to be some other monsters in the movie, just because I know Godzilla like fights all these crazy monsters and stuff. So I figured there was a good chance that was going to happen. I didn't think that the other monster, like, to me, I almost kind of feel like the movie should have been called Mutos instead of Godzilla because they were in it so much. So that was my initial thing. I thought that there wasn't enough Godzilla in it. I almost got a little pissed off in certain parts because it felt like they kept teasing you with the fights between them, and then they would cut to, showing the footage on the TV screen, or it would cut to, something else, and you're like, no, I want to see the battle. Like, oh my god, I was like, if they don't have some epic battle at the end of this movie, I'm gonna get so pissed off. They had one, so it was okay, but yeah, that was my initial thing. I was like, oh, I just felt like there should have been more Godzilla, and there was a lot of the other two creatures in it, and then sat on it for a little while, and then I still stand by that, but I still enjoyed the movie. I didn't hate it. It wasn't, I know it's not going to be, when we do our movie awards for the summer season, it's not going to be my favorite or anything like that, for sure. But I thought it was okay. Now, what about you, Monica? What did you think?
I hated it. It was like the worst movie ever. I despise that movie, and I know these are very passionate words, negative words, but I'm dead serious. Like, I really hated it. I didn't like it at all. I mean, I got so much to say. I don't know where you want me to start. I was going to say, agree with you. Okay. It was annoying when they kept teasing you with the fights. Okay, I agree with Vanessa how she left and was like, wait a minute, I didn't like that at all. Like, that's how I was. Dude, I was like that 30 minutes in, maybe even. Like, I had already been like, oh no. I was completely turned off. But I kept having hope, like, all right, any minute it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Didn't get better.
That's terrible when that happens with a movie. Did you do your breakdown of your rating system for this one?
Pretty much, I didn't break it down like that because I hated it so much. It's just hands down, I don't recommend seeing this movie. Period.
What about the effects? I remember you having an effects category.
Okay,
did you like the effects?
They were awesome.
Okay.
But not enough.
Oh, no.
Carry the rest of the movie. But the effects, yes. For the 2 seconds you see Godzilla, yeah, it was pretty awesome. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't time it or anything, and I haven't researched it, but I felt like he showed up. It was like 45 minutes into the movie before he like finally shows up. So there's a lot of story. But I will say that I like that there was a fair amount of story. I do think it took a little long for it to get into it. And then, like, when you first see the encased thing, and you think it's going to be Godzilla that busts out of there. And so when it was one of those other creatures, that I was really taken aback then, because I'm like, well, wait. So, no, go ahead, yeah.
So, how do you feel about those things eating or feeding on, what's it called?
Bombs? I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. But what is it? Radiation.
Oh, yeah. There were some parts where I wasn't fully understanding what was going on. I think you were saying that too, Vanessa, right? A little bit. So, like, it was an interesting idea, but, like, the plans that they kept coming up with, like, the bombs and stuff, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense if they feed off of that stuff. That's what I wasn't, that was kind of not making sense to me.
So, the storyline, period, I think it was just completely horrible. When you what did I say? 1954 is when the original one came out. Maybe in 1954, creatures eating radiation is pretty cool, but in 2014, it's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And then we got some ancient fake ass dinosaur that comes up, and he's gonna regulate. He's gonna bring order back. Yeah. And I'm going after these mutos that eat radiation. Who thought that was a cool storyline? who approved this shit? Okay, if you're gonna do a remake, please shine it up a little bit. You know, bring it in, make it tighter. You can tweak some stuff. I won't be upset with you. Okay, right. I know the premise is Godzilla. It's fine. You do not have to have it exactly how it was, because that shit was stupid.
Was anybody else disappointed with the fact that Bryan Cranston was only in like the first 20 minutes of the movie?
Oh, I bet you were.
Hello, Walter White, where are you? And when you were on screen, you were dumb as hell, not saying anything. No, it was Vanessa. I hated that. I can't believe that his role was so mediocre.
It was like a glorified cameo.
They made it look like in the trailers, though, that he was like the main character.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, see, that's just them trying to capitalize on Breaking Bad.
Yes.
But,
so they tricked us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You tricked me!
Not fair!
I don't like to be taken for a fool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, yeah, I didn't expect him to die so quickly. And then the lead kid, I don't remember the character's name, but I just call him Kick-Ass, the actor.
Lieutenant Ford.
Oh, okay. I'm going to call him Kick-Ass. I felt like a lot of the movie, it's like, everything is constantly happening right around him. Like, he's on the train, and then the thing comes by the train, and then he's on the train tracks, and the thing's right there. And then, you know, he comes out of the sky. Like, I understand he's the main character and stuff, but it was just kind of like, oh, come on.
And everything he was doing was stupid.
Yeah. And the character was a bit dull, so it wasn't like I was really engaged while he was on screen or anything, really. One funny thing I wanted to mention about that actor, actually. The girl who plays his wife in the movie is played by Elizabeth Olsen, and she's Mary-Kate and Ashley's younger sister, but they're both playing the twins, the Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in the next Avengers movie. Remember at the end of Winter Soldier?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's like they're married in this movie, and then they're going to be siblings in that movie. Not that that really matters, but that was just something I noticed.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was on. I mean, I see her last name is Olsen, but I wasn't like, oh, that must be an Olsen sister. Like, I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah. I mean, like, now that, like, it's been brought to my attention, yeah, she looks like them, but I wouldn't have made that connection either. I think she's a good actress, though. I've seen her in quite a few things, and she's pretty good.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and then her staying at the hospital or whatever was a little like, nah, you need to get out of there. Oh, you know what? Actually, that brings up something that the thing that I didn't like most, I guess, about the movie. At the end, I think, what is it? Are they in San Francisco at the end of the movie?
I remember them destroying the bridge.
Yeah, and they have that bomb that's going to go off. So, but they, decide not to do it or whatever, so they get it on that boat, and they want to get it out in the ocean to get it far away, and because it's, it's going to wipe out everything and blah, blah, blah. And he puts it out on this little, like, tugboat thing, and it's going out, and the timer's down really low. And, like, I just, for they were making this thing up to be so massive and such a big deal. And then it just gets, like, 2 miles out into the ocean. Oh, it's okay there. It's fine. So I just feel like there would be some kind of fallout from that, because if it's such a big bomb, you only let it, like, it's just very, very slowly creeping out into the ocean on this slow-ass boat. But then at the end, everybody's in the city, like, walking around all happy and stuff. And I'm like, I think you guys should get out of there. I don't think you should be breathing in that stuff.
Yeah, because they were showing, like, at the beginning, like, all the different mushroom clouds and stuff like that when they had attempted to kill other stuff and kill Godzilla before. So, yeah, it should have been a huge, like, wave or something.
Get out, yeah. Or get underground.
When you see the bomb go off, it looks like it was a fucking grenade. Like, dude. What? What's that?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to clear out San Francisco.
Yeah. And, yeah, so that I didn't like. So I'm like, okay, that's really kind of reaching there. And then I thought it was a little over the top at the end when you see Godzilla going back to the ocean and like the newscasts are like, oh, our savior Godzilla. I'm like, okay, that's too much. I'm cool with him beating the crap out of the other two monsters, but like, let's tone it down a little.
Yeah,
how did you feel about the Japanese actor, the scientist? His real name is like Ken Watanabe or something. I can't say his name in the actual movie.
He's, I just call him Katsumoto because he was in The Last Samurai, which I know you haven't seen that, right?
Nope.
But you saw that, right? Didn't we go to the movies to see it? And I love that movie. He's great in there. In this movie, he was kind of whatevs, but, yeah, no, I know who you're talking about.
He was horrible. It was like, is this a joke? Like, every time he was gonna start talking, it was like this ominous music, and they zoom into him, and he's like, oh, and Godzilla, and he's coming, but that's all he was saying. He wasn't saying anything pertinent.
Yeah, and he was like real slow to do any kind of actions or anything too.
Yeah, it was cheesy. I was like, this is a joke.
Did it happen in your guys' theater when he said that line, saying like we called him Godzilla? Like people actually laughed in my theater.
Well, yeah, I remember in the one from 1998, there was like in the beginning of the movie, there was like a video of some guy in like a hospital or something, and he was like Godzilla, and he just said it with his really thick accent, and he said it like a bunch of times. I think I don't really remember the movie all that well, but and then
like, what did you see, old man?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's what I was thinking of when he said it, because you're waiting for somebody, with a better, with a non-American accent to say it. So I think that's probably why. What are you laughing at?
Because the way he said Godzilla.
That's how they said it. I'm not making fun. That's just how they said it.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I hated him too in this movie. Yeah, in this movie.
Feel free to jump in with any points.
No, I mean, the only thing I wanted to say is that my sister, because we both actually like that 1998 movie, Godzilla. I know a lot of people say it was an awful movie and stuff, but we both think it's entertaining. So she hated it as well. Like, she hates it more than I did. I can respect, like, certain things about it. Like, okay, yeah, like Monica said, the effects were really good and stuff.
Yeah.
But I actually made her watch Pacific Rim, which some people have been comparing it to Pacific Rim. I said, well, if you want to see more action, you should see this. And she loved Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
So I think in a way I was probably comparing it to that too. Like, that's more what I was expecting in terms of the fights and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true, because you got the big creatures fighting in the middle of the city and stuff, which, yeah, Pacific Rim totally gets high marks, at least for that aspect of it.
Exactly. Pacific Rim, Planet of the Apes, and the newest King Kong. Those were the movies that were set in the bar for me. This is for the standards. I was thinking, like, okay, this is going to be along those lines, and it just didn't even come close. The effects, yes, but the effects, like I said, we saw Godzilla for maybe a total of 10 minutes out of a whole 2-hour movie.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's not, the movie is called Godzilla. I don't care about anybody else but Godzilla. Show me Godzilla, and these Mutos, they have no point. There's no like, I could, and alright, the storyline, I already said that it was ancient and they should have, brushed it up. But when it comes to that storyline, there was nothing going on but us seeing that main character.
Right.
In these little incidences here and there. Like you said, it just kept following him. It was like, we don't care about him either. We don't care about any of these people. We just care about Godzilla. Okay?
Yeah, speaking of caring, I didn't really care for the Mutos, whoever, like, their moment of love there, like, greeting each other. I was like, okay. Like, I actually, like, laughed out loud in the theater. Like,
I was getting pissed off at them, to be honest. I was like, yo, Godzilla needs to kick their ass, because they were really pissing me off a lot. I don't know why. And I thought they looked cool, because they looked very insect-like. And they actually reminded me a lot of the monster in Cloverfield. With the arms and stuff, but I mean, I think they looked really cool, and it was cool that it's a male and a female, and they had eggs and stuff. But yeah, I was like, man, they need to go.
One thing I thought was weird is that when they were down, like, because they were busy, obviously the Godzilla was busy fighting them and stuff, but the soldiers were all down in there messing around with the eggs and stuff, and they didn't hear that. But when she was, like grieving over her eggs or whatever, she heard the one little thing, like, scuffle or whatever that he did, and she's like, looking around. I was like, really? She heard that little thing?
Going on there.
This was a croco shit.
Yeah. That's one of those instances where you're like, well, I guess we're just going to have to chalk this up to movie rules, because otherwise, yeah. Not to completely harp on it in a negative way, but that end battle I thought was pretty cool. When he takes the one, and I think it's the female, right? That he pulls open her jaw, and I thought he was going to do, like in the old King Kong movie, where he was fighting the T-Rex and he broke open his jaw. I thought he was going to do that, but he had that blue light come up his tail and then shoot the blue flames down. I thought that was pretty awesome.
That was cool. A lot of people liked that in the theater. They were cheering.
The fight scenes, when we actually did get to see them, it gave me, like, you know, when you're like an X-Men movie or an Avengers movie, I don't know, one of those kick-ass movies, those fight scenes that you get that, like, feeling in your chest, that excitement, you're like, yeah! Like, you get super, like, I felt that.
Right.
But then when they cut to whack-ass scene over here, the feeling just went away.
You're like, oh, yeah.
But that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was, like, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree. There should have been... And it's like, because I'm somebody, I like having a good story. Like, I think Pacific Rim, like, I love Pacific Rim, but I think the story was a little lacking in parts, or the characters, at least, were lacking in quite a few parts there. But this movie, the story, it was cool. They had a lot of focus on the story, which I like. But I think they should have just had a little bit more Godzilla sprinkled in. I don't know how, but I'm not a screenwriter, so whatever. But that I think would make me really, really like it. Like, I liked it, but I would have really liked it if they just had they just punched it up a little bit. Because, I mean, you know, story, yes, but it's a Godzilla movie, it's a monster movie, it's a summer movie. I do want some big action set pieces, not just one big one at the end.
Right.
I still don't understand with Godzilla, so he, like, just stays in the ocean, like, underground or something until something... Yeah, well, how does he live, too? Like, that's how he exists?
I don't know.
Like
I mean, I feel
state?
the same. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I know it's something, because, like, they had a bunch of Godzilla movies, and it was pretty much always the same case. And it wasn't that he was, like, defending humans. It's just like, oh, I gotta take these guys out because this is my area kind of thing. But it wasn't like he was, like, a good guy or anything, though. But I don't know. I don't know the real story or anything. I don't know. And then I heard that since the movie did really well, they're going to do a sequel. So I don't know. Maybe they'll go into that a little in depth in the sequel.
That was a funny noise, Monica.
Yeah. No. And Vanessa brings up an awesome point. Like, we still don't know what just happened. Like, I'm still confused. If someone asked me legit, like, point by point, let me know what this movie is about, I mean, I can't tell you. Especially when they started getting all scientific. Me and you were chatting about this over text messaging. I really legit wanted to pause it and be like, wait, what just happened? Like, yeah. I needed someone next to me to be like, okay, wait, I don't understand that. Can you explain that to me? But I can't rewind it because I'm in the movie theater.
Yeah, I just got to take it all in and try to remember it for later.
I actually was lucky enough that I went with Mike, and he, when they were, like, trying to kill that one thing, and then the big insect or whatever, I forgot, Mutos, whatever, came out, I was like, that's not Godzilla. And he's like, no, but that's the thing that Godzilla fights. I'm like, oh, so that's what this is about? Like, yeah, so he like was able to explain, like, whisper a couple things to me. Otherwise, I think I would have been really confused and just angry. Think, what is this movie about? Like, I probably would have had Monica's reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe if they had... Now, in the full-blown trailers, did they allude at all to him fighting another monster at all? No. Yeah.
No.
Not at all.
They made Walter White look like he was the main character. They made it seem like there was some super secretive type of storyline that was going to come out and it was going to blow our minds, besides the fact of Godzilla, but, they implied that.
So that's it then. That was the super secret storyline.
I guess. On the Mutos? What
Yeah.
the fuck? I don't give a fuck
Because
about
I
those
remember,
Mutos.
I remember seeing on Facebook, just from like some, I don't know, movie pages that I like or whatever. They were like, "Oh, are there going to be monsters in the new Godzilla movie?" And so I was like, "Oh well, yeah, I guess that would make sense." Because I know we fought all these monsters back in the older movies, but that was all, and then I never clicked on anything because I didn't want to get spoiled. So, like, I figured there was probably going to be something, but I didn't know what it was or anything like that.
So maybe in this case, your theory of not watching trailers, like, it really helps and makes sense because Monica, I saw this is what we were expecting, like Walter White and all that stuff, and that's why we were more disappointed than what you were.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, yeah, I think, yes, I not watching the trailers always helps me, but it really helps because, yeah, I feel like I probably would have been more, probably not as bad as you, Monica, but more along your lines, Vanessa, where I didn't like it as much if I'd seen the trailers, because I would have been expecting the same kind of thing. So, yeah, and so in addition to not seeing scenes that, for whatever reason, my brain just, like, bakes into my head, so I go into the movie expecting these cool scenes. So that's the main reason why I don't watch trailers anymore. But also all this stuff too. So
Yes. Maybe if I would have seen the original, from whenever.
Back in the 50s?
I would have been more prepared of the type of style this whole Godzilla movie is. I don't know, but it just really was horrible for me. I was bored in the theater. I was frustrated. I remember rolling my eyes, huffing and puffing, and I was like checking my phone.
Oh God, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's how bad it was for me. I'm for real.
Yeah, I remember you texted me because I was in Disney, I think, and you sent me, like, it was like 2 texts when I checked, and she was like, "So far not liking Godzilla." That was the first one, and then the second one was hated it, all in all caps. I was like, "Oh God, that's terrible."
Yes, and for me to text you in the middle of a movie,
yeah.
like, I don't break out my phone. Like, it's movie time.
Right.
Okay, I will talk to whoever after. And me and you, we talk about movies all the time. As soon as I get out, I'll text you, but not in a movie. That's how bad it was.
Have either of you been to a movie where you actually hated it so much you walked out?
No, I have not. And I've seen Eyes Wide. I saw Eyes Wide Shut in the movie theater. That was one of the worst. And then that movie with Cameron Diaz that we saw.
The Cube or something like that?
Was it called The Cube?
I don't know.
The Box. Did you ever see The Box?
Is that where they're stuck in? They're like, there's a bunch of people stuck in one cube, and then they're something.
No, it's Cameron Diaz, and it's if they hit this button somewhere, somebody will die, but they'll like get $1 million or something. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and even that I sat all the way through it. But no, I've never actually walked out of a movie. Have you?
I can't think of any right now. I don't think I have because like I spent the money. Like no, I'm still gonna like sit through it and watch it, just get my money's worth, and so I can complain about it and like just in case it may turn because I'm somewhat optimistic. I try to like see the good and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I've fallen asleep in movies.
The Hobbit.
And I've walked out of movies and hated them, but I've never actually left the theater midway through a movie. Have you, Monica?
Me and my mom once, we did leave and we returned the ticket and was like, we got our money back. But I can't remember what movie it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
You gotta find out what movie that was.
I turned to my mom like, you want to watch this? She was like, no, let's go.
Man, that's bad. Yeah, that's really bad.
You did walk. I mean, it was a show, but I remember you telling me that you and your mom left Ghost the Musical.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you walked out of a live show anyway.
Yeah, I did walk out of a live show once.
Oh, wait. That's the... you texted me and we're like, oh, we're going to see this Ghost. You're talking about Ghost the movie?
Yeah, the musical,
like,
yeah.
I didn't know you left out of that.
No, it was terrible. It was really not fun at all. It was quite disappointing. It just made me want to go watch the movie because I was like, oh, the movie's so much better. And yeah, so that's one thing that I left midway through.
Well, the only reason why I didn't get up and leave Godzilla is because I still had hope.
Well, you wouldn't have missed the end battle if you left too. So.
Yeah, the only good part of the movie.
Yeah. Now, I don't remember, but did you guys say till the end credits? Was there anything after the credits?
I don't remember.
I did stay to the end. There wasn't, because
okay.
that's why when you told me there's gonna be a sequel, I was like, oh god. That's why I was shocked to hear that. Like, no.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I think it did pretty well and stuff. So, you know, of course, if it does, I don't know, if it crosses like a certain threshold, they're like, oh, well, a sequel's gonna be made. It's bad that, you know, like stuff is just, it's all about money and opening weekend and all that kind of crap. Well, whatever. I mean, you know.
I find a lot of movies that I enjoy are like the sleeper hits. That
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
do well,
that's
but then
another
became
thing
hits
that-
later.
Yeah, and there's quite a few movies that are like that too. So yeah, all that concern with money is just annoying. Oh, you know what else too? Not that it's like super important, but the music in the movie, the sound or the score, I should say.
Oh.
I liked it. It did have that monster, like kind of old school monster movie feel to it, but it didn't stick with me really. So I was kind of hoping it would have like a cool score. Like it sounded good during the movie, but it didn't. It wasn't anything that made me want to like go home and listen to it or anything like that.
I didn't like the score, actually. And
Really?
I felt like there was so many parts where there wasn't any music at all, where I felt like if you would have had some music, maybe it would have been better. So that's good you said that, because
Yeah.
I remember thinking that. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
It was odd.
Yeah, I was wanting like a memorable thing that I could not like hum, but at least like I would remember it, you know?
Like Jurassic Park.
Oh God. Or Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim had awesome music, in
Yes.
my opinion. So, yeah, but not this one. Did the score stick out at all to you?
I can't remember it.
Yeah.
no.
See, yeah, it wasn't really memorable or anything. Nope.
We can't remember if there was anything after the credits. We can't remember the music. We don't
Yeah.
know what's up.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, this is, you know, our review. We weren't giant fans. We just wanted to go see a monster movie, you know, and see cool effects. So it's, you know, we're not like hardcore fans of Godzilla or anything like that.
Yes, please don't like burn us. Don't come around.
Well,
trying
no,
to
that
kill us.
yeah, and I mean that's always the case with our podcast, with the exception of I'd say probably the Hunger Games. You know, we're pretty hardcore about that. Harry Potter. You guys maybe with Twilight, not me.
Yes. Oh, and can I add in with Godzilla when he was gonna break the jaw?
Uh-huh.
Well, we thought that was in the Breaking Dawn too. And I was gonna say that, but I was like, Tina doesn't like those movies.
Well, no, but that is from the 1939 or whatever King Kong, the original King Kong movie is what that's from, where he breaks
but it
the
was
jaw.
in Breaking Dawn too.
Yeah, but I'm saying any movie that takes that makes it iconic looking.
No, don't even try to start questioning it, okay?
Let me tell you, when did King Kong come out? That shit was in black and white. Legit black and white.
Alright.
But where was I going here? So yeah, I mean, there's certain things, Sons of Anarchy, that we're really, really into and we're like super fans of. But I mean, in general, we're just really big fans of movies. So that's where we're at. Not comics.
That's the disclaimer.
Yes. I think I put in one of our things, like our descriptions, I put like 3 slightly nerdy gals, because it's like, yeah, we're nerdy about this stuff, but we're not like, you're gonna lose us if you go too deep. Right? That covers it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not beginners, we're not experts, we're the intermediate level.
Yes, intermediate level is that exactly. That's what we're at. Exactly. So yeah, I think that was pretty much everything, right? Did you come up with anything?
I was, while you guys were talking, I was going through the movie in my head, trying to think of anything that stood out. I'm like, other than it was pretty sad, like when his wife was, stuck in the thing. Yeah, that was, and he even though he was a short period of time, and Monica said he was kind of a crazy character, I still think he had the best acting out of everybody.
Well, yeah, he's a great actor. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Monica?
I forgot to say, what was up with him getting that kid on the monorail or whatever?
Oh, yeah, it didn't really play out.
Where does that fit anywhere. Was there a point to that?
I think maybe it was to keep him on the monorail longer, maybe. Because he was like, oh, I better not miss my flight because of you, kid. So I think he would have gotten off earlier, and maybe he would have been out on the runway when the thing came.
And this is the shit I'm talking about.
Maybe,
So
I'm not sure. That's
like,
what I'm thinking.
I'm like, oh, this is gonna be his new kid. You know, the parents are gonna die or something. You know, something like that. And then the parents are there, and he runs off, and he's like, bye. Like, what the fuck?
And the parents don't even do like a gracious nod or anything. I'd have been like, I found your kid. Yeah, that's me.
I kept him alive. Okay, he almost fell off a monorail, and I held on to him and almost died myself.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so that was stupid.
Yeah.
Another stupid thing.
I mean, I think that's all it was. I think it was just to keep him on the monorail longer. I did like the one part on the train where they were, you know, taking the precious cargo to the city. And the one, I think it was the male Muto. He was, which I don't know how they didn't hear him because he's loud as hell. But he just kind of like appeared next to the train tracks, and they were just laying down trying to make sure that they didn't get, they weren't spotted or whatever. I thought that scene was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a little scary. Yeah. There, yeah. It was dark, you know, yeah. I was going to say, I thought it was totally unbelievable that he jumped from the train track and landed in the water, and he was totally fine. Like,
with all that shit raining down.
yeah, and he like passed out, and he ends up on the beach. Like, no, he would have drowned. I don't know.
That happens a lot. Like, it seems to be in movies that's like, if you fall into water, you're okay. Like, you'll just cut your arm or something. But it's like, no, falling into water from like a great distance like that is pretty much like falling onto the ground.
It'll kill you.
Yeah, it's not soft by any means. But I think that's like a movie rule. Kind of like how the good guys never run out of ammo. And women can fight with their hair flowing in their face. You know, that's just a movie rule, I think.
With high heels, 5
Oh, yeah, yeah. Women always wear heels in movies. They can be on a hot pursuit chasing somebody.
I could barely
Stay
walk.
wearing... Yeah. Nobody ever breaks their ankle or twists their ankle or anything like that. Yeah, I'd say that's just a movie rule. We should do a podcast episode on movie rules. Yeah, because there's quite a few of them. I think that pretty much covered everything. Any other gripes you want to air?
Overall, I'd like to say that I was bored, confused, frustrated, and unimpressed.
I think disappointed is probably your key word.
Yeah, that too.
Mine was let me see, what would mine be? That's mine. Yeah. And yours is meh.
Meh.
I will say that, I mean, and this kind of goes against what I was saying earlier, like, I do like how they didn't have Godzilla right in your face right away, and there was, like, no suspense or anything like that. I do like that. I just wish it wasn't as long. It didn't take as long to get to him and stuff like that. But I do like that, because I think a lot of movies nowadays, they just throw everything right in your face right in the beginning, and there's nothing really, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, definitely. It's just once you show him, just show him.
Let's see him a few more times, yeah. Because I thought he looked really cool, and I liked how they kept him still real bulky, you know, with like the stubby feet and stuff. That was kind of, you know, he looked like the old school version, basically. But I thought he looked really cool, too.
Yeah, and that fire, like that part, him and his fire and his fighting skills and all that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved how he just used his tail and, like, hit the one into the building at the end there. He's like, I've had it. He just knocked.
That's like a bitch slap or something. Like
it was. Because, they made him look all, he was tired out. He was like, ugh. And just knocked that thing over. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. Maybe they'll take these criticisms and, you know, into consideration when they do the next movie. So, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is we have lots of more, wow. A lot more summer movies, one of which we already saw, and I think the general opinion is we all liked it, so.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be the next episode, more than likely.
Can't wait.
I'm really excited for, and I know I've said it like every podcast this whole season, but I'm just super excited for the Planet of the Apes movie. Every time I go to the theater lately, they play some long ass trailer for it, and I gotta play solitaire on my phone, and I get the look from people next to me, and I'm like, the movie has not started yet. Don't give me that look.
Yeah.
But I don't want to watch the trailer. But oh my god, I can't wait to see that movie.
For Godzilla, it was my first time seeing the trailer.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
Oh!
I mean, I've seen stills and I see friggin' Caesar and everybody riding around on horses carrying like shotguns and shit. So I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait.
Basement.
It is, yeah. I can't wait to see that.
I'm in the dark over here.
Yeah, Vanessa actually did not see Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That's the first one, right? That's what I said. Yeah, I was like, you need to watch that.
Your assignment as the damsels in debate is to watch that shit tonight as soon as it's off.
Well, I was like, you should watch it the week before. You know, I think it comes out the 11th. So that week, that's going to be your cue. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what your work schedule is. Just, you need to watch that movie.
I promise I will.
I feel pretty confident saying you'll like it. Yeah. Because that was one of those movies I was like, I'll go see it, whatever. There's apes running around San Francisco. I mean, you know, we'll see how it goes. And then I ended up really liking it. I thought it was a really good movie.
I bet 150% she's gonna like it. If she doesn't, then some crazy shit going on.
You gonna fire me?
You're fired! Get out!
You're fired! Get out of here!
I was fired because I didn't like a movie. Yeah, you'll like it. It'll be good. Alrighty, well, I think that's pretty much everything. I'll do my little closing. Man, I can't talk. I'll do my little closing spiel now. If you would like to send us any feedback or tell us how wrong we are about Godzilla or anything like that,
Monica will shoot you down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you why. Tell me why.
Yeah.
Why do you-
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to give us criticism, at least give us constructive criticism, because we greatly appreciate that. But you can email us at damselsindebate@gmail.com, or you can do so on our website, which is just damselsindebate.com. And on there you can find all of our episodes, including the ones we did over a year ago. We are now over a year old. We've been doing this for over a year now. So, yay. 1 year anniversary.
Great job, guys.
Thanks.
Where's my cake?
Yeah, I was told there would be cake. No, but you can get those on our website, and then you can listen to the most recent episodes on iTunes and Stitcher, and you can also rate and review us and subscribe to us on both of those platforms. And you can follow us on Twitter and give us a shout out on there. We get some shout outs every now and then about random stuff on Twitter, which is always nice. And of course on Facebook. Facebook's really good because you can show us trailers and stuff too. I think that's pretty much everything, right? We don't have any Instagram or Tumblr yet, so. All right, until next time, it was great having both of you guys on here, all on one podcast. That was good. Ooh. And with that, we're ending.